What's up, everybody? My name is Brad, and today we're here for the first ever Brad's Book Awards, where I'm going to be celebrating in different categories all of the top books I read in 2020. These aren't books that necessarily came out in 2020. These are just books that I read in 2020. I've got all fancied up, got a collared shirt on, a tie. I've got my champagne glass over here, but we're in Kentucky, so it's full of bourbon instead of champagne. And I thought it'd be fun to sort of make it like an award show, if you will. So I'm going to have a couple of these videos coming out over the next couple weeks for different categories. But today's category is going to be top cover or best cover on a book. You know, people always say, don't judge a book by its cover. But honestly, I know I judge books by their cover, whether it looks fantastic or whether it looks like it was done in MS Paint in about 5 minutes. You know, whether you're browsing at the bookstore or walking down the aisles at the library, maybe you don't really know what you're looking for, but you'll see an awesome cover that sticks out and make you pick that book up, read the inside, read the back, maybe check it out or buy it. So a cover, it goes a long way to selling a book and getting you interested in a book in the first place. So I thought it would be fun. I don't know if anybody else has done a top covers video yet. They might have, I'm not sure. But I thought it'd be fun to celebrate some of the awesome cover art on some of these books and give a shout out to some of these authors who are helpful in more ways than people think to actually enticing people into not only reading but buying your books. So let's go get into it. I have 10 books today. We're going to start at number 10 and work our way up to number 1. And coming in at number 10 on the list, this is Sour by Tony Evans. And the cover artist for this one, it's done by A. Medina. This one really stuck out. This book is about witches. It has this nasty, gnarly looking witch on here, a pile of skulls, some crows flying around. I really dug this cover art. It has this gritty, backwoods Appalachian feel to it. And the cover really actually sold me on this book. I hadn't heard of Tony Evans before. I didn't know what the book was about, but the cover drew me in to learn more about it and had me eventually picking up the book. So number 10, Sour by Tony Evans with cover art by A. Medina. So next up, number 9, this is actually a collection of poetry, and it is a collection of dreamscapes by Christina Sung, put out by Raw Dog Screaming Press. The cover art on here is done by Stephen Archer, and the book design is by Jennifer Barnes. I don't know, something about this, the camera won't do it justice, but you can tell it's like painted on there, this lady with the feathers. It's sort of mystical and dreamlike, sort of like the cover or like the title, collection of dreamscapes. I just really dug the cover. It's something that stood out to me, and I like that it's actually painted. It's not just a photograph or something. It's a painted cover. So this one is my choice for number 9, a collection of dreamscapes by Christina Sung, book art or cover art by Stephen Archer, and book design by Jennifer Barnes. And up next, number 8, this is, and I could have picked any book from this series. I've read the first 3 books so far, and all of the covers on here are fantastic. But so far, out of the 3, I think this one is my favorite. This is Nightfall by Daniel Barnett, book 1 in the Nightmare Land Chronicles series, and the cover art is done by Daniel Serra. I dig the cover art. It has this not for resale on here, but it's super awesome. I love it. It wraps around. There's sort of the trees and the thicket on the back, and I don't know if you can tell, but there's like a boy's face over here in the trees. It's just sort of abstract, and I just really like the cover. I like all of the covers for this series so far, but I think as of the ones I've read, the first 3, Nightfall, Lullaby, and Sleepwalking, this one is probably my favorite at the moment. But book 4, Flashlighters, I really dig that cover, so it'll probably take over once I read it this coming year. But this is Nightfall by Daniel Barnett with cover art by Daniel Serra. Coming in at number 7 is another book from Raw Dog Streaming Press. It is Halloween Season by Lucy Snyder. This is a collection of short stories. The cover art is done by Lynn Hanson, and again, the book design is by Jennifer Barnes. This cover, my kid loves this cover too. My son does. I love the essence of Halloween here on the cover. The giant pumpkin house. There's people creeping in the window. The kids are trick-or-treating. There's some monsters down here. There's like this vampire flying bat back here on the cover. This cover alone, before I knew anything else about the book, made me want to read it. Again, this is Halloween Season by Lucy Snyder. cover art by Lynn Hanson, and book design by Jennifer Barnes, number 7 on the list. So coming in at number 6, I don't have a physical copy of this book, so I'll have to throw up a picture. But this is Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Caesar, with cover art done by Matt Ryan Tobin. I love the clown's face in the actual cornfield itself. I really dig the black and red aesthetic of the cover. Black is probably my favorite cover, especially mixing it with red. I love that aesthetic. It's got the barn and the silo in the background and the moon rising. I just really love everything about it. When I saw the cover way back before, like when the book was first announced, I knew I had to read the book solely based off of the cover. Just, it's one of those striking covers you just have to read. But this is number 6, Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Caesar, with cover artist Matt Ryan Tobin. And halfway through the list, coming in at number 5, this is one I listened to on audiobook, so again, I'll throw up a picture. This is 1,000 Miles to Nowhere by David Kerfis, with cover art by Daniel J. Peters. This is a zombie book. I'm not big on zombies, but I love the book. But the cover art, I dug the cover art. I think I saw this first on Well Read Beard's channel. He was doing a review, and the cover, it just stood out to me. I love the giant, huge zombie head with the mouth hanging open and the tongue and the person walking up into the mouth, to nowhere, basically. Another great, outstanding, very striking cover. This is 1,000 Miles to Nowhere by David Kerfis, with cover art by Daniel J. Peters. And at number 4, I'm shocked I haven't mentioned this artist's name yet, because it seems like every cover he does, I just really love. It seems like everyone really loves his covers. This might have been the first ever Silver Shamrock book I read. But this is Bottled by Stephanie Ellis. And of course, the cover artist is Keelan Patrick Burke, or Elder Lemon Designs is the name of his company. This book, it's about these bottles, and they have these sort of dioramas, these scenes in them, almost sort of like snow globes. And this, on the cover, it's got this creepy sort of castle-like house, this gothic house on here. I love the cover. It looks like sort of an apothecary table with a skull down here. Just super intriguing, really draws you in, makes you want to read the book, find out what is going on actually inside the pages. This is Bottled by Stephanie Ellis from Silver Shamrock Publishing, with cover art by Keelan Patrick Burke. So we finally made it to the top 3. These are my top 3 favorite covers of books I read in 2020. And at number 3 is The Resurrectionist by Michael Patrick Hicks. This is book 1 in the Salem Holly series. And again, the cover art is done by Keelan Patrick Burke. I believe it's Salem on the cover. I love that his head is there with these tentacles sort of sprouting out the back. And there's these red lines on the cover. It almost looks like a map, sort of like countries or continents or counties or whatever it is. I just really dig the aesthetic with the tentacles, again, coming out of the back of the head. It draws you in and lets you know there's some cosmic horror going to be going on here. Just an overall really well done, outstanding, striking cover. This is The Resurrectionist at number 3 by Michael Patrick Hicks. Cover art by Keelan Patrick Burke. And at number 2 is Dust by Chris Miller. This is book 3 in the Splatter Western series, with cover art by Justin T. Coons. Honestly, any of these Splatter Western books, any and all of them would have made this list. All of the covers for that series are amazing. They're all done by Justin T. Coons. This one is, I've only read 2 of them, Magpie Coffin and Dust. I like this cover better than Magpie Coffin. I like the, again, cosmic horror, the tentacles behind the church. The green and purple on the cover really stands out. And I believe Justin paints all of the covers first, which is awesome. And like I said, if you haven't checked out this series, go check out all, at least if you don't read them, at least go check out all the covers. They're all works of art. They're all super fantastic. They all feel like spaghetti Western movie posters. I really dig all these covers. This one is Dust by Chris Miller, book 3 in the Splatter Western series from Death's Head Press, with cover artist Justin T. Coons. And last, but certainly not least, at my number 1 spot, drum roll please. My number 1 is a book I just finished reading not too long ago. It's Blackheart Boys Choir by Curtis M. Lawson, with cover art done by Carrion House. I love this cover. It really goes along with the story itself, but I don't know if it's digitally painted or what it is. But I love all the colors on here and just the aesthetic of it. Has the choir, their eyes are glowing, has the black unicorn, which is very integral and important to the story. It has all the music notes for the classical music that is also really integral to the plot of the story. Overall, really striking. You know, if this was on a cover or if this was on a bookshelf, I would definitely pick this book up to at least see what it was about. This is my #1 favorite cover of all the books I read in 2020. Black Art Boys Choir by Curtis M. Lawson with cover art done by Carrion House. So this has been my top 10 favorite covers of books I read in 2020. Again, they say don't judge a book by its cover, but an awesome looking cover will always grab your attention, have you pick that book up, check it out, buy it, whatever. These cover artists definitely deserve a lot more credit for the outstanding work that they put in. So I just wanted to sort of give them a shout out, give them a little bit of the limelight as well. So be sure to come back next time. We'll have my next category for top 10 whatever books of the year. Thank you all for spending your time with me. Again, my name is Brad. I'll talk to y'all later. Cheers.